Hey, all of you cool cats and kittens, this is Mama J, and you're listening to my son, Grussle, with the instrumental Muscle. You dig?
Yes, sir. Yes. Shout out to our bar.
Lock in.
Big shout out to bar.
Lock in.
Yes, sir, man. Episode 90. I repeat, 90. Come on, man.
Clock in. Clock in.
90 of them things.
Got the whole team back, man.
Yes, sir.
We on our Grussle, our grind and our hustle.
Russell, a.k.a. Pickers in the building. And we haven't seen this guy in a while. He's been on Pete.
Bless him.
Well, bless him. You said
Bless him.
Hold on. Hold on.
You gotta thank yourself.
You just say bless. You just say bless
Yeah,
me.
I just said bless him.
You gotta
So like you say, you gotta thank
you
yourself.
gotta thank yourself.
Thank you.
Nico's back. Yeah, Nico been on PTO for a bit.
We ain't paying him enough to say PTO. We ain't paying him enough to say he's on PTO.
With my brother today, I just want to say I'm
Oh,
glad.
amen to that. Amen to that.
Amen. Here we are.
We letting the ducks off early, man. Oh, you know I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I'm clocking in. Yeah. You ready? Yeah.
I like this beat, man, for the night. Real, chill, rainy day. It's got like a 70s detective show vibe.
The horns, bro.
Clock in.
I gotta get back in
Clock
shape.
in.
Yeah.
I gotta get back in shape. You feel me?
I just want to petition that we just let the beginning of the episode, for the sake of the comedic reasons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We
The
gotta-
audience
we
doesn't know what
gotta
you're
let
talking
people-
about.
We gotta let the people hear, man.
They gotta pay for that.
Don't edit that, E.
We gonna let it live.
Yeah.
Chill.
But episode 90, co-host of Clock in the Podcast. I'm tripping. Co-host of Clock in the Podcast here, Marshall Hamilton. we gotta get back on our
Yeah,
game,
for
man.
real.
We gotta wake up.
Is there any coffee in this one?
We gotta wake up, man.
Co-host Austin Hamilton here, and yeah, man, we're back. Episode 90, and we got a full slate of things, man. Got whole team here. Got the drops back. YouTube will be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to this episode, and as always, appreciate y'all, the supporters, the haters, the newcomers, people that been rocking with us. Yeah, man, appreciate all y'all. So that's always love on this side. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, 90 is crazy. First episode, I think it was June 8th or 9th, something like that, 2020. So almost 2.5 years into it, and I'm still having fun, and we feel like it's getting better. So the last couple episodes, I've been more specific to hoopers, which are near and dear to our heart because we still are hoopers, but our time of kind of pursuing that dream is no longer there. So we're helping other people do it, and we felt like it was appropriate to kind of have a few episodes focused on things that can help people that are in that grind and in that mode. However, even if you're not a hooper, I know there's things you can learn from it to apply to your life. So Speaking of being back, college basketball is back. This is my favorite time of the season.
Clock in.
I can watch any college
Clock
game,
in.
man. Doesn't matter the level. Doesn't matter, the team. So I love this time of year, and these days, pretty much. I don't want to say every college game, but there are way more college games that are accessible to watch. YouTube, live stream, all that. So I'm looking forward to this season. As Duke fans, gotta admit, I know like 1.5 people on that team.
I'm playing
and it's
right
weird.
now as we speak in the Champions Classic, so
Who won the Kentucky game?
you can look at it right now.
I'm sure they won.
I don't know, Michigan playing them tough.
Yeah, who do we play? Who does Duke play?
Kansas. Ooh, overtime.
Wow.
Kentucky, Michigan State.
Wow.
See, the thing about Michigan State, they literally just played the number 2 team in Gonzaga a week ago.
And they arguably should have won that game.
Should have won the game.
Yeah.
And now they're playing Kentucky, number 4. So people wonder why Izzo is always prepared in March. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
He's playing the big dogs early. It's always going to be a challenging schedule. He's putting them through the fire, man.
Yeah, they got and these teams always have that dog in them. So shout out to Izzo. He's my second favorite college coach. Actually, now he's my favorite because Coach K retired. But yeah, college basketball is back. Shout out to the Farron Panthers, my alma mater. They're 1-2 right now. But similar to Duke, new coach, a lot of new faces, and I think that they have a chance to kind of set the foundation for where this coach can take the program. Hopefully,
What's the coach's name?
Pat Corrigan. Yeah, so he was an assistant coach to the last coach, young guy. I think he's probably like he's probably younger than 35, maybe 35 max. I haven't met him yet, but I heard this past alumni weekend I guess it was almost a month ago, was really good. So shout out to the fellas, my former teammates, and yeah, man, go Panthers.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Elon, man, you already know what it is. I believe they might be 1-2 as well, but like you just said, new coach, Billy Taylor. He came from Vanderbilt, so coming from a great program, a lot of success. Hoping they can, turn it around, man. Elon has had some success. Coach Scroggy, former coach, took the Duke job with Shire, but got the team to the conference championship, and I think semifinals the year before. So they've been close, man. I can't wait for that day when they finally get to the big dance. It's going to be huge for the program, huge for that community, because I know Elon's a special place, and it'll be exciting, man, when we get over the hump. So yeah, it's going to be a fun season, man. I'm hoping to catch. I always go to the Towson game, but I want to try and get to Elon and see a game there, and potentially check out Duke too. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you play for a school, especially all 4 years, it definitely holds a special place in your heart. And for those who are aspire to play at the next level, it kind of astonishes me how very few young players, whether they're in middle school or high school, actually watch college basketball. So I encourage you guys to watch. For the players that are hooping in college, my advice is just, man, stick it out, wherever you're at. I know the transfer portal is a big thing, and for some people, transferring may be the best thing for you, but we're going to talk about building confidence later, and don't follow the herd. Don't be a sheep. And right nowadays, the environment we live in is you don't get what you want, you leave. Or you face some adversity, you leave. And yeah, there's going to be some of y'all who, you know, may not be getting the playing time you want, or you may not have the role you want yet, and you're a freshman or a sophomore. You know, I believe if things are the right fit, and it's just a matter of timing and you figuring out what you need to do to get on the court or have a bigger role, then I think it'll be worth the wait. You know, if you're a junior or senior and it's not a good fit, then maybe, you know, it's a little bit different. But speaking of
shout out to Iko, man.
oh yeah, she's tripping. It's been a minute. Shout out to Iko Underwood, who's a sponsor of the podcast with Arista Real Estate. Iko is a Virginia real estate agent who practices what she preaches. She has her own property that she resides in, but she also has a couple of investment properties in Virginia. So if you're in Virginia, anywhere in the state, and you're looking for, you know, a real estate agent who's going to go to bat with you, someone who's, you know, has a track record of success. She's a former Marine, single mother, been through a lot, overcome a lot. She's definitely the one for you. And as I mentioned, I mean, it's crazy how many real estate agents don't have homes. I know that some of them are early in their career and stuff like that, but she's one who has credibility in a lot of different ways. So shout out to Iko. I got to help her with her Instagram and get that going. But yeah, that's the plug there. Real quick, it's tryout season. Actually, it probably just wrapped up for a lot of you, and I did want to just share a quick testimony about a girl that I started training last year. And there's others I could talk about, but I thought it would be cool to talk about her. So when I first started training her, she was in 8th grade, had not played organized basketball, had some like raw talent. I would see her at the gym sometimes just kind of playing by herself. But her mom was like, you know, hey, I want you to work with her, you know, can you help me? So I think we did 8 sessions. I don't think we even like renewed. They even renewed like another 4 to 8 sessions. One of the things that I noticed is she was at the gym all the time outside of the days we trained, and between each session she got better. And I'm like, what are you doing like in between these sessions? And her mom was like, yeah, I'm, you know, or she told me, yeah, she's here all the time, just practicing. So I kind of set a goal for her and a realistic expectations. I said, you know, you need to get her in some type of organized basketball soon. I think we finished training in June. If you can get her in a summer league, do that. And then, you know, I think she can make freshman if she really, you know, keeps working at it. So fast forward to last week, I have not worked with her since June. And her mom, you know, texted me and said that she made the freshman team. Her name is Yatika, and I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm gonna mess it up. But shout out to her. Just really just nice, sweet, humble girl, hard worker, coachable, and I mean, I've trained people that are a lot more skilled than her, but the message is, I kind of set the foundation, but you have to figure out how to do it yourself, right? Yeah. They didn't rely on me. She didn't even hit me up. Hey, coach, I need to work on this and that. She just would do it, and you know, we'll talk more about this later as well. But you know, a lot of things that we want in life, it's just a matter of us just taking consistent action, right? A lot of us wait to be told the answer or to the right timing or to feel like you want to do the work, and she just did the work, and she has a great attitude, so she was awesome to work with. There are a lot of kids that are talented, but their attitude sucks, to be quite honest with you, and we'll see if we work together in the future. I'd love to, but regardless, I'm happy for her. And as a trainer, this is the last thing I'll say on this topic. Your goal should be, and this is even like as a personal trainer at the gym, in my opinion, teach these people how to work out on their own so that they don't have to rely on you. I know it's kind of counterintuitive to like business because you want people coming back, but my thing is if you're doing what's best for them, they'll come back eventually at some point. And if they don't, and they're succeeding, then that was the goal of you working with them anyway. And you'll be blessed by it. So
yeah, a lot of trainers don't preach that, honestly. It's you gotta have 75 cones, or you gotta have all these different props, and I mean that's just not how the game is played. Like you said, we try to put our clients through drills that they can do on their own, that are simple, effective if you do them the right way. And you don't see that, especially in this day and age, man. You don't see that a lot where like kids are just on their own, like actually like working on their game. People will go to the gym, shoot around, do a bunch of Euro steps to look cool, but they're not going hard, man. And I've seen that girl in the gym, and she was going hard.
yeah.
And kudos to her, man, because like I said, a lot of players aren't dedicated like that. So again, I would just encourage these players, man. Learn as much as you can from these trainers. Whether it's in person or YouTube, social media, but you gotta get to a point where you're actually trying to apply it yourself. You understand what you're doing, you understand why you're doing it, and then you're going game speed. A lot of people don't go game speed, like even when trainers are with them, they don't. Because when you're in a game, what happens? It speeds up.
Yep.
You're not going to be going through the motions, and that's in any real life setting, right? Like whether it's a presentation or like you're a DJ or something.
You're a nurse,
when the real life test comes, are you going to be ready for it? And that's kind of going to get into what we're talking about with confidence. But yeah, big shout out to her, man.
And here's what I'm learning. A lot of these kids that come to the gym and just kind of mess around, a lot of them, they're there because their parents are basically saying, you need to go work out, or you need to go do this, or go work on your game. It's not coming from them. Like I had a parent reach out to me today, and they were like, my son wants to go to the community center to get some shots up. And this is someone who texted me last week. Was like, hey, he needs to work on his form. What can he do? And I was like, he can do stuff. He didn't need a basket necessarily.
Go on YouTube and
go on YouTube.
Type in basketball.
There's form shooting you can do in your home, right? Like at your house, and literally laying down, sitting in a chair or whatever. And she was like, yeah, she texted me today. He was like, yeah, he needs to get into the gym, and he's not really listening to me. So, can you tell him he needs? And I'm like, no. I don't need to tell him anything. Like, no. If he wants to do it, he's gonna do it, and if he doesn't want to do it, then you need to be okay with it. But even if he does it by you saying something, you're really setting him up for failure, because eventually he's only going to do it because you're telling him to, and it's going to turn into resentment, and then he's not going to do it because he loves it. So I know a lot of these kids, whether it's their parent, brother, coach, who's like, you need to get in the gym, I know that they're there out of obligation, not out of hunger. So my advice to parents is let your kids develop their hunger themselves. If you're telling them you need to do this, you need to do that, X, Y, and Z, you gotta they're not gonna develop.
Yeah, it's natural resistance.
Yeah, it is what it is. But real quick, NFL recap. My Jags lost to the Chiefs. Not much to say there. Our season's done.
You see how the volume in his voice just like
We're done. I mean,
just decrease like that. Hey man, it's a hard league. It is a hard league. I mean, the Eagles took their first L. How you feel about that, E?
I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I'm upset.
And I feel like
shout out to Ashley Shoemaker who was talking crazy.
yeah, she definitely heard some words from me.
Yeah.
But it probably hurts because it's the Commanders. And
Yeah,
like low key, like I mean that whole division, like they don't like it. Nobody likes the Eagles in that division.
Nobody likes anybody in that division.
Yeah, you're right.
Except for when it's time to like take our place.
The Giants.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
y'all-
know if the Giants are like. Do people hate the Giants?
People don't hate the Giants, but the Giants hate everybody.
Yeah.
Giants fans do.
Yeah.
And just because they're from New York, there's just gonna be that. I don't think people dislike the Giants. I think people dislike Giants fans more than they dislike the Giants.
But
They don't really have people that you did. Think about the Giants. Like since we've been like old enough to follow football, they have great guys on
That's
that
what I'm
team.
saying. That's why I'm like I don't think people.
There's no one on that team where you're just like, yo, I can't stand that dude.
Yeah, I don't think people like.
It's like nah, the Giants have had some.
They're just like it's the Giants, like just neutral. But the Eagles, because their fans are wild. Obviously, the Cowboys, the most loved and hated franchise in the NFL. The Commanders, they rival with the Eagles and the Cowboys, obviously. But I mean, they'll be fine, man. One loss, they'll still be the number 1 seed. My Titans, though, big win against the Denver Broncos. Let's ride. Shout out to my guy Ryan Winters. He's a Broncos fan, so had fun on Sunday. But yeah, man, we look good. We got the Packers on Thursday in Lambeau. Should be a tough one. Tannehill coming back was huge. Derrick Henry is still rolling.
What do y'all?
Defense is playing
6 and
well.
3?
Yeah, 6-3.
Yeah.
Should be 7-2.
And y'all got us twice. So you're at least winning 8 games. We're not about to get
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, we might as well just start tanking, dog. I don't know. That's
how many wins do you have, 2?
We have 3. Chargers, Raiders, and
But could be like 5.
we could easily be 6-3.
Yeah.
We should have beat the Giants. We should have beat the Broncos. We should have beat the Commanders. I mean, we've lost most games, other than the Kansas City game. We lost most games by literally 1 possession, and we had the lead in the 4th quarter. But
I got to say this too, because if you go back to the receipts, I said the Raiders. Like I don't believe in I don't see it, and they're freaking 2-6.
I mean, I never defended the Raiders. Like you said, you were talking about Derek Carr specifically. And all I said was I don't think
Derek
it's his,
Carr and the
I
Raiders.
don't think it's his fault.
Yeah, I mean it's not his fault.
I think it's
but
his fault.
I'm just not a believer, guys.
Let's go back to some other receivers, actually, real quick.
Embiid had 60.
Our top 5.
Embiid had freaking 60. I know y'all saw that.
Embiid.
He almost had a quadruple double.
Let me see what Embiid's stats. I was going to talk about Luka.
Nah, for real.
Because Luka was in my top 5, and he was my number 5, top 5 skilled players. And
Well, Luka's a freaking bucket. I don't
Yeah,
care
but
about the Luka. I'm talking about Embiid
look-
and then Embiid and Jokic.
Let's look at
This
my
fool
top.
Embiid had 59, like 12 rebounds,
That's one game.
7 blocks,
It's one game.
and like 8 assists.
It's one game.
Come on, man.
It's one game.
It's comical.
Because he hasn't really
It's
been
comical at this point.
because he hasn't really been playing that well this season. If we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
10 out of 70 games.
Yeah,
He'll figure it out.
Yeah,
And
one
which he
good.
did.
Yeah, one good game.
We'll see at the end. Sorry, what are the metrics?
And I never said that Jokic is in my top 5. I just said Embiid shouldn't be, and I would rather have Jokic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
That's what started the whole argument.
But my top 5
I'm defending Embiid.
My top 5 is looking real good though. That's all I'm saying.
So is mine. Except LeBron and the Lakers. So. They got the dub though. Without Bron.
What did I tell?
They're terrible, man.
I told your
They
boy
need to
Tone,
freaking blow it up.
They need to trade LeBron.
They need to trade everybody.
They need to trade LeBron.
That's okay. We're gonna get another ring. Then we're going back to the land. We got young Darius.
So you agree that we should trade
Darius.
LeBron?
Meaning we mean LeBron, Maverick Carter, Chris Paul. Yeah, that we. So we can get another ring.
We should trade
We're going
LeBron.
back to the land. We're gonna have me, Darius.
You about to be?
Me, Darius, Mitchell,
Bronny
coming in a few years. Bron, Caleb probably gonna retire and like, yeah, he still got a little something. Yeah, NBA is it's interesting.
It's a weird. The standings in the
It's
West are
interesting.
wild.
These young Bulls, man, they taking over.
I told y'all they don't care. They have no respect for their elders at all.
Yeah,
Zero respect for their elders.
it's time. It just happens.
Nah, dog. These
Like the baton. It's like LeBron. He's pretty much. We'll see, but he's pretty much on his way out. Who else? Chris Paul. Like, he's. How are they doing this year? Suns.
The Suns.
They're decent, I think.
The Suns are, I think,
Who else?
Third
I mean,
seed. So the Suns.
Kawhi hasn't played in like
Suns are,
7
well, they
years.
were the 3rd seed. They're the 5th seed now. So here's the top of the West is Portland's number 1.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Denver was Utah was number 1 last week.
How is Utah? Who do they
Well,
have?
This is what I actually wanted to talk about this, and this is probably a good segue into an actual topic that we probably were planning to talk about. But look at their roster; they don't have any superstars. They have
Clarkson on that team?
Jordan Clarkson. I'm trying to catch the main guys: Mike Conley, Lauri Markkanen, he's the one who's going
He's
crazy.
been hooping.
Colin Sexton, Taylor Horton Tucker, Rudy Gay, Malik Beasley, Udoka Azubuike,
One more time.
Yeah, say that.
Udoka Azubuike,
Say it with an accent.
Ochai Agbaji.
Okay.
That's your people. You gotta say it.
What do you look like?
That's your people. Micah Potter,
Anti-Semitic.
Johnny Juzang, Simone Fontecchio, Leandro Bomero,
Oh, these are like
Kelly
real dudes.
Olynyk. This is Walker
Wow.
Kessler. This is their
There's
roster.
no way them dudes get ticked like that.
I'm naming their whole roster. That's what I'm trying. Nickel Alexander Walker, and that's it.
Who's the coach? Because what's his name's not there anymore.
That's a good
Snyder.
question.
Whoever that coach is.
I don't know, dog. But
Early front runner for coach of the year.
my point is, they're still top 3 in the West, but they don't have any superstars, and I think what's happening with the league is it's the balance of power is more even than ever. And Markkanen has been their best player. I don't think, you know me, I don't think these days having a big as your best player is sustainable for success. It's just me. But it's impressive, man. Memphis is 4. The bottom of the West is what's wild.
Yeah.
The Lakers are the
what
second
Warriors?
worst team in the West. The Warriors are 10. They were like 12, but they won a couple games. Minnesota, who was in the playoffs, is out of the playoff picture right now. Sacramento is 9. Clippers are 8 and 6.
We got a free what's his name? De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, shout out to Drew and the Clippers. That's
Yeah.
That's big.
Did you see that the Drew League tribute with the jerseys? Like, was it the City Edition?
Mm-hmm.
I saw Mick was out there. I didn't really pay attention. Like, what was it about?
So you know they do the city jersey. Remember like the OG Warriors joint. So they just collaborated with the Drew to make it more about like South Central Watts and like the Drew. So
Jerseys
some of
were
the
tough.
lettering is tough, like and it has like the Watts colors. It's
Yeah.
just kind of inspired by the Drew League.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
tough.
Big Sean did the Detroit one.
Yeah.
So but that's big.
Yeah, it's
that's
just a
big.
collaboration within just like, culturally within that city. So like, the Bulls are probably like Windy City on their jerseys, or like with the Clippers, Drew League.
Is it going to say Drew League on it?
Nah, just the colors and the
Okay.
details.
I think
of it.
on the bottom
It might have
Like the tag,
I
yeah.
think it says no excuse, just produce type
Yeah.
thing, but no, it's still a
Okay.
maybe Los Angeles. I don't remember, but
They
no,
should say like South Central or something.
not the Drew. Yeah.
But you didn't even look at the Clippers. The Clippers, their team was hood on the low.
It fits.
Yeah, they got it's all brothers, and then Zubac, and Zubac and Luke Kennard. Everyone else,
Yeah, they've been hooping too.
everyone else is looking like
Freaking Kawhi. Like, how come we don't talk about Kawhi, dog? What is he doing? What's wrong with him? Dude hasn't played in like 3 years since he won the Toronto joint. Like, we kill AD, but like,
he's stealing money, and he should be
Nah,
he
for
should be
real, like,
arrested.
we
He should be
kill
arrested.
we kill AD for not being
He
available.
still never lived up to his potential though.
Huh?
He's never lived up to his potential.
AD?
Yeah, like he got.
I mean,
he has a
he's
ring.
75, NBA 75.
You know, I just think it's because Kawhi is certified. I think, and he just be chilling.
Yeah,
But
I mean, AD be chilling. Part of it, I think, is
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
part of it. I just think, obviously being LA market, but like the real LA market, Lakers.
AD also just he asked out of New Orleans, like kind of went about it in a way that some people didn't like.
It is documented that he, after they won the championship, like came back like out of shape, so that didn't help him, and it just seems like he kind of lost a dog, like that dog in him. So,
I mean, let's keep it a buck, man. He's in LA.
he is.
A lot of distractions in LA.
There's a lot of distraction in New Orleans too, though.
Yeah,
It's
but
not LA.
yeah, but they ain't no Kardashians in LA and Kardashian clones.
I think he's. I don't know. If
He's
he's
probably
married or anything. He is married, actually.
What's that mean?
I mean, I'm just
I'm
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Nah, he's in Hollywood, man, and there's just like. Just
But you don't hear anything about AD. Like, I just think it's my personal opinion. I just think it's bad luck, man. Dude can't stay healthy, and I don't know who his trainers are, but he like got heavier. It seems.
I follow his trainer on Instagram,
and I feel like he just can't sustain that.
I follow his trainer on Instagram.
But you also have to think his growth though.
Yeah, I just think it's his. I just don't think his body is designed to play the amount of games at that height, and there's little things like knowing how to fall, right? Like this offseason, they taught Joel Embiid how to fall so that he wouldn't get hurt, right? He trained like everyone who his trainer trains, like Drew Holiday, Spencer Dinwiddie, everyone else stays healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just it's one of those things that it's unfortunate. But like you said, Kawhi, I don't know. I lost a lot of respect for him because
like I said, he doesn't get talked about enough. When it comes to getting scrutinized like these guys like AD, Bron, and some of those guys. And it's like, well, we consider him, a superstar, but yeah, it's just interesting.
Well, the thing is, last thing I'll touch on this. Pop, who created load management, was basically calling out Kawhi when he was at his last year with the Spurs.
Yeah,
and him and Pop and Kawhi's camp were beefing because of a disagreement on Kawhi's diagnosis or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he saw it. He saw it, and it hasn't really changed since. Because even the year he won the finals with the Raptors. He didn't play a lot of games that season.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's get into one of the main topics. Man, this has been bothering me for a long time, but I don't know. Lately, it's got on my nerves more, and it's just people who try to portray themselves as confident by just bragging all the time, right? And we've talked about confidence a lot on this podcast and what it really means, and how to get it. But it just really irks me because a lot of these people it's really like self-worship. It's weird. Like they post these little quotes, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm different, and I'm just like,
I'm him.
Who are you trying? Yeah, like who? And the thing is, like, I know you. The thing is, I know y'all. A lot of y'all, I know y'all. Y'all don't act like this in real life.
Yeah.
And the ones that do, it's like, it's all insecurity. Like, that's all it is. It's just insecurity. Because what do you want? You want someone to size your head up. Yeah, you are. And
there's a lot of that. Like, you look at some of these people's Instagram profiles and you're
lying
weird,
to them.
It's weird.
Yeah, they're lying to you, and they know that they're lying.
Like posting, and I'm picking on the fellas here. Like, dudes will post a picture with an outfit, and like other dudes are like reposting it, like yo, that's him or something. Like, it's just like.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Weird. Like it's very
it's
very
feminine.
weird.
It's feminine. Let's just call it what it is. Like that's
weird.
It's very feminine energy.
Am I tripping? Nico? Do you see that at all? Like, are y'all
it's very feminine. Like there's a lot of there's one thing to show love. Like I'm not look.
Maybe it's just different era. I don't know, but
like all right. For example,
I'm not about to
Zell and Joe. They post a tough rap video, or Nick posts a video. Eric post something. I repost it. Whatever. But we're talking about like
dudes like
stuff that women would repost.
Like pose pictures.
Yeah, and even
it's just like
even though we talked about the hooping side of it.
And that's really where I see it, because most people I follow hoop, so
it's just it's
weird. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. But I know you wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about where does true confidence come from? One of the ways that you can get it. I wanted to talk about is it residual, right? Meaning is what you did. Let's say you get it, right? Hopefully you get it in whatever area of your life, or just holistically, whatever whatever it is. Is what you did to get it, is that going to be enough for you to keep it, or do you have to continue to work on stuff daily, weekly, whatever, to keep that confidence? So we'll start with you on, in your opinion, where does that real confidence come from in life, or just in a particular area, and then I'll kind of touch on the is it residual part.
Yeah, I think confidence, it's like winning, man. It's not really guaranteed. Like, you have to earn it, like, every single day. Like I don't think. Like I know for me, just because I did something, whether it's a year ago or I had a good game, you know, that it's not guaranteed I'm going to have that same ability to do that the next day, right? So I think confidence is something that it's literally ongoing, man, and you got to earn it every day. Like how many times have we seen Steph Curry, you know, go off for like 60, and then he'll also have games or we'll have slumps where he's like not even hitting the rim.
He's airball.
And like that's Steph Curry, dog. And you can't tell me that doesn't affect him, right? But he's mentally strong enough and tough enough to be able to fight through that and eventually gain his confidence back because, you know, he's gone through some, you know, a little bit of hardship, right? I don't think confidence can just be, you know, all roses and flowers. Like you gotta go through stuff, and you know, I think I said this the other day. Like you gotta go through the fire, man. Like I don't care what it is, what field you're in, what sport. Like you gotta go through the fire. I don't know any successful person that hasn't gone through trials and tribulations and had setbacks and failed and, you know, was told no. Like how many times have we heard those stories where, you know, a startup company, they're pitching it to investors, they got told no 1,000,000 times and they finally got that yes, and boom, confidence was there. Right? They got the yes. So now what? How do you grow it? I mean, you got to go through it, man. Like the stuff you earn every single day. And again, I hope people understand that. Like, you know, you got to have that mindset of, I got to earn this because it's not given. Like we're human. There's going to be times where you may not feel like doing something, or you may not have the motivation to, you know, make that extra call or whatever. And if you recognize that, then you can say, well, what side do I want to be on? And if you want to be on, you know, the winning side of it and the confident side, then you'll make the right decisions for it. So, yeah, man, I just think people don't realize building confidence, it's like you don't just wake up and you're like, man, I'm confident. No, like I joke around with Jess, and like I'll say like, man, I'll be looking in the mirror, I just thank God. I just be thanking God for how I look, like for real. And it's joking, but like, you know, y'all used to tease me about my skin color, and you know I was chubby at one time. I probably wouldn't value working out and taking care of my skin and getting haircuts if I didn't go through that. Like I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yeah, I mean,
you talk about, I used to call you straights with your calf muscle.
Yeah. I mean,
like you were a skinny kid.
Jokingly, but like that stuff affects you.
Yeah, like, I'm being completely transparent.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like growing up, like that crap, you know, I may have played it off, but yeah, it definitely affected me. But me kind of understanding where I was before and to where I'm at now, like, yeah, man. Like, and the point is, I just don't think you wake up confident. Like you legit have to go through stuff, and that's what kind of builds the right confidence, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that, man. And you know, my thing is you can't affirmation and quote and horoscope and manifest and even, this may sound crazy, pray for confidence, right? I think what you can, if you're gonna pray, you can pray to go to be able to have the strength to get through certain things to build your confidence. But I used to pray for confidence, Yeah, being completely transparent. Like I used to pray for it, and it didn't come.
Yeah.
It didn't come. Is that God's fault? Does that mean God doesn't answer prayer? No. I had to go through stuff, and you know, people would say like, "Oh man, you're a different player." You know, since you left high school and since you graduated college, you've gotten better. Like it's not possible for me to have gotten better talent wise because I wasn't putting in nearly as much work. I didn't have the time to. It's just that I had gone through. I knew, and even when I step on the court today, I know that I've been through more stuff on the court and in life that would have destroyed most of these people, and they wouldn't have gotten through it. So when we're losing by 15 points in the fourth quarter or whatever is going on, I have confidence that, you know, we can find a way to win, and I'm going to help us win, right? Now, you know, analogy I want to give is like when you're riding a bike, right? You're learning how to ride a bike. Someone's usually holding the back of the bike while you're pedaling. It may feel good, right? I'm doing it. It feels good. Keyword feels. But in reality, that's not building your confidence. As soon as that person lets go and you fall down, it doesn't feel good anymore, right? It doesn't feel good. That happens 10, 20, 30, 50 times. And then one time the person lets it go and you're pedaling, you don't even realize that they let go and you're going. And then that's when the confidence starts to come. Right? But you have to fall down a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are trying to spoon.
Take action.
Huh?
Confidence only kicks in after you take action.
Yeah, but for sure. But my point was like, you have to go through it on your own, man. Like a lot of people.
You
take action. Yeah, like you have to go through it on your own because a lot of people, you know, they're relying on their parents, their friends, other people to build their confidence. There's a guy on our team, our lifetime team. You may listen to this. You know, it is what it is. I've told him to his face, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to bring up any names. But if things are going wrong, then he completely, like, he's done. He's done. When things are going right for him, he looks like he's the most he looks like the most confident guy on the court. Right? So he, you know, we were texting and you know, we were being honest with one another, and he was like, you know, if I feel like if I'm hurting the team, you know, I'll take a step back. And I said, look, dude, like, I'm not gonna tell you to leave the team. I want you to actually, I want you to go through this and figure it out. Let's figure it out together. And you fight through this whole thing and persevere. Because I know that the other teams you played on, they pretty much given up on you, and I'm not going to give up on you. You know, but I'm also not going to like spoon feed you either, because that's essentially what he wants, right? And like when you have real confidence, it's not based off of the circumstances or what other people say or think. Like it's you have to be secure and calm with everything that's going on. Another thing that I see is people base their confidence on being the big dog on that team, in the room, in the organization, or whatever. When they feel like they're the best, now they're confident. But as soon as there's somebody that threatens that, or they're in a room with people that are better than them, they don't look the same. They're not as confident, right? So I can see through that stuff a mile away. A lot of y'all can't though.
100%.
So
A lot of them can, they just choose not to. Meaning, like, they're that person that tries to act like they're, you know, an alpha or, like you said, a big dog. But deep down, they know they know where their confidence levels are. And those are typically the loudest people in the room.
Yeah.
Or the flashing. You know, and yeah, I don't know. A lot of confident people that I know, typically, they don't say much, right? Like, for example, if you have to like run off your accolades or rewards or something like that, you're to me you're reaching. But if someone like I don't ever talk about like, oh, what I did at Herndon and all this stuff, but the real confidence that I get from like what I did at Herndon and stuff like that is when people come up to me and say, man, like, dog, I remember what you did at Herndon. You were all med, all this stuff. I literally, when I went to go vote at Herndon Middle School, some like random kid that graduated in like 2013 or something came up to me. He was like, yo, like, I remember watching you play. You know, like, you're a dog, all that, whatever. And like, I don't care, but again, I have other people talking for me. That just kind of shows, one, you're official, and I don't have to talk about myself.
Yeah, you don't have to say.
That's how you know you made a real impact.
Yeah, you don't have to say anything. And we have two different personalities, especially on the court. And I talk a lot more, but my talking isn't. I'm not out there just coming out talking. Usually it's I need to get myself going and my team going, or someone says something to me and I'm gonna test your confidence.
Yeah, facts.
That's really what it comes down to with me. It's, oh, you're talking? I know that if I start saying stuff, I'm gonna back it up. I'm confident in that. I'm very confident I'm gonna back it up. So I'm gonna talk to you. And I'm gonna see, can you back up what you're saying to me? Because a lot of people, it's more of they talk as more of a warning to get people to back off. Right? Like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. So you should back down. You should bow down. You should, understand, what's about to happen. And I'm gonna test you the rest of the time. The whole game now. I'm gonna test you.
Even if you don't say anything.
Yeah, even if I don't say anything.
The play is gonna show.
And now I wasn't always confident. But once I gained that confidence, when I wasn't playing, let's say I had a bad half or a bad quarter or whatever, in the past it would have just snowballed. But when I was able to gain the right confidence, I bounced back.
Hey guys, thanks for clocking in with us and making it this far into the episode. We want to continue these episodes for as long as possible, but we might need your help. If you click on the description on each episode, you'll find a link that reads support this podcast. If you enjoy keeping up with us, click on that link and you can make a monthly donation. All right, you guys hear enough of me talking anyways, so let's get back into the episode.
Yeah, we had to call full timeout. So I'm gonna hold it down for the rest of the episode. But I was talking about my examples of how Austin and I are different when it comes to how we display our confidence. If I start talking before the game, talking about what we're about to do and X, Y, and Z, that's not real confidence, right? During the game, especially like Jordan said, if you're down and you're talking then that's different. And that's doesn't matter whether I'm down 15, 20, it's a tie game. I'm gonna keep the same energy, right? The topic that I wanted to personally bring up is it residual? Austin said that it isn't, and I agree with that for the most part. The only thing that I would say is there are certain habits that are habitual, even, not just physically but mental habits that can keep your confidence, even if you're not consistently doing necessarily the work in that field. So I'll give you an example. I don't hoop during the week. Austin doesn't hoop during the week like that. We don't have time. We're not working out on our own usually, right? Just getting shots up, doing basketball drills. But my confidence when I step on the floor comes from everything I've been through and the habits that I've built and that I know my brothers have built and even my teammates have built prior to that game, right? Whether it was 10, 15, 20 years, it doesn't really matter. I know there are certain things that are just muscle memory, right? So even if you're not physically earning the right to be confident in certain things, for some areas it's become muscle memory, and nothing is really unfamiliar or doesn't scare you when the unknown happens, right? Or tough situations happen. So I think there are times where it can be residual based off of the foundation that you've set in the past, right? Now, in order to gain confidence, this is something that I also wanted to talk about, and we have to be okay with trial and error, right? The way that the school system is, the way that society is, whether you're an adult and you're working, in 9 to 5 or working it doesn't matter the field, or you're a kid who is in school, we're all kind of conditioned to being told what to do, right? In our industry, outside of our jobs with basketball training, we have kids constantly asking us, or parents asking us, hey, so-and-so needs to work on his shooting or her shooting, or so-and-so needs to work on their ball handling, their dribbling, whatever it is, right? And it's like, we learn from just doing it. Like, that's where we learn the most, just playing, just doing it. Whether that was in a live setting, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, or just going to the court by ourselves and just doing it. Like, I'm a shout out my brother Brandon. He taught himself how to play basketball. He taught himself how to shoot. He pretty much taught himself how to get in condition. He literally would go to the court and just practice his shot. He missed a lot, and then he figured out what worked for him. Even him cutting his own hair, and even cutting other people's hair. He taught himself. He didn't just. Now I'm sure. Eric can attest to this. Making beats. They used to make beats together. Now Eric obviously taught him a lot, but then he tried a lot of stuff on his own, I bet, right?
Yeah.
And it would sound good, So my point is, Brandon has had a habit of not waiting to be told what to do or relying on that. He's gonna figure it out. And then what happens is when you are doing stuff on your own, usually someone in your life will come and say, hey, I admire how you're doing this, but if you're not doing it right, they'll say, hey, I want to help you, right? Or when you ask, you have a sample size to say, hey, I'm doing this. This is what I do. Does this sound right? And then someone can really help you, but we can't really help you, and you can't really get help if you're not okay with trial and error, right? So my advice to not just the people that we work with, but just in general, you can go on YouTube and figure out a lot of stuff. You can Google a lot of stuff, and that's a good start, right? You trying to figure it out, but you still have to do it, right? You still have to do it, and what's going to happen is, as you go through that trial and error, right? You look at a lot of the inventions in the world. These people tried a bunch of different ways that didn't work, and then eventually they figured it out. And again, it built their confidence. You have to be okay with failing for a long time, but you also have to have, whether it's you or someone else observing you, to kind of notice, all right, what's working and what isn't working, right? You have to go into situations looking for that type of stuff. So that's all I have. This was kind of an interesting episode, but you guys hopefully got something out of it. Again, really evaluate where you're at. And here's what I'll say. It's okay to not be confident. This is not everyone should be confident and you're wrong for not being confident. No, that's not the message. The message is be real with yourself and then figure out, what do I need to do to build my confidence in this area, but even as a human being, right? Holistically. Because I'm not even if you get really confident, let's say in sports or music or academics, something's going to happen at some point that's going to affect that or test that confidence, right? I don't believe in building your confidence and identity and image around one thing, because once that's taken away, it can even be parenting. A lot of parents struggle with this, right? Their confidence is built on what they do for their kids. Their kids leave the house and then they don't know who they are, right? So, I just suggest you figure out a way to become confident as a person in general. But a lot of us have specific arenas that we're in that require us to be truly confident and secure. So maybe you start there, and then it can spread to, the other areas in your life, or you figure out how to do it holistically, and it spreads to the area that you really want to focus on. So episode 90. Appreciate y'all. Next week we'll be back. May have a guest. We're trying to figure that out. But I appreciate the love. And as always, lock in. Let's get it.